she sort of there's an aspect of her sort of hyper independence that definitely wreaks a certain degree of havoc this season, in terms of how she responds to certain aspects and elements of, how things that people, and to setups and situations that she does not, that don't pass her check. When she checks it out, her instincts, that's what matters. And if it comes out one way or another, she will act. She's not one who will hold back or who will ruminate and go through indecision. And I think the thing that is interesting about, I guess, both of them in a sense, is the fact that you saw with the other characters throughout the other two seasons that you saw them go through adjusting to an apocalyptic world. Whereas, this season, Fear the Living, it's like, okay, now you've learned the rules of this new realm. Now you're dealing with people who know the rules of the realm too and have figured out how to adapt accordingly. And now what happens when you start to encounter them? And I think that's what both of us are. We're both already in that place where we are our new recreated selves post the apocalypse. And now it's about, how do we engage and interact with them? And so you're seeing them also respond to that.
What do you think it is about your two characters that made them sort of thrive and then when society collapsed? I mean, you're really the first character they run into who knows how to survive, and you have set up your own little kingdom. What is it about your two characters that you were able to do that? Well, Rick and his group, we've seen struggle for 2 seasons.
I think for me, it's a mixture of many things. It's luck, first of all. But it's also the sense that he's been able to step forward, and he has a mixture of ruthlessness and compassion, I think, in a strange way, but he knows how to run a town. He knows security is everything. But I think in the year that's passed, it's about luck, that you've just survived, you're prepared to fight. Some people feel that strength is in the individual, that the individual can survive better than the group. And I think the governor feels that if he can keep his group together and that they do as they're told and do what he wants, that's where he can survive, because he's looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah, I think that, she's just one of those people who's, very, very, pragmatic, and she's very strong-willed, and I think that it's about that, who do you become when things get this dire, how do you adjust? And I think some people are quicker to adjust and adapt to realities than others, and maybe others are more like still looking for something that they can't have anymore, figuring out how to get back to that. Whereas I think Michonne is very much about this, and it's also based on the specificity of her trauma, I believe, that moment where you decide, do I give up or do I make this moment, this world, this time work for me? Do I refuse to stop being a winner? Or do I choose to be a thriver or a victim?
Also,
and I think she just chose to thrive.
Also, there's that question that I think they all have, is what do I have to live for? And I think the governor has a very specific thing to live for in his head. I mean, I think he has there's a thing out there that he has that is keeping him going, and that's what the series deals with.
How, in an apocalyptic situation, how do you see your own actions that your character would do in the series?
What do you mean?
How, if you guys were in an apocalyptic scenario, such as, zombies, do you see yourselves making the same decisions as your characters would do?
I definitely have some Michonne in me. I think, I'm one who's not going to go down without a fight. And, in this realm of existence, I can do that, with ease and sophistication and talk my way through things. But were I in a realm where none of that works anymore, I think I would figure out what I needed to do to make sure that I continue to preserve myself.
I'd like to hope that I didn't do the things the government did. But I'm not saying I wouldn't. When my back's against the wall, who knows? You never know.
Right.
So, I think the other thing is no one knows what they will do when the shit hits the fan. You just don't know it. You like to have you have the heroic sense of yourself that you would be that guy, but when it happens, you don't know who you are. You might be running that way or running that way. You don't know.
All right, great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.